Live. Wait, are
Oh,
you already live?
now we are.
Oh, you're kidding. You have really got to be like right on that little triangle button. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Well, you're on a tablet, so
No, I'm on a laptop.
a small one.
No, it's full size.
He's probably not using a mouse.
No, I'm using. It's got a pad.
You know you
Those
can plug a
are
mouse
worth
into it.
shit.
Sure.
So, Shadow, you can buy a mouse off of Amazon for like $15 and just plug it into your computer.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to the show, folks. Happy Thursday. I got a full belly of lasagna. I'm in a good mood.
Here, take a laser to the face.
Take a laser to the face. No thanks. This ain't a Blue Oyster Cult concert, man.
No, it's a Blue Waffle concert.
Dear God.
They throw mermaid shit.
So, how's everybody out there in TV land doing? We got one whole viewer. Welcome to the show.
It's probably me.
It's probably me. Uh, we're just going to sit and chew the fat. I'm going to do some painting. And
Yes, it's me.
it's you. Okay. Should have lied. Get my hopes up. Someone's watching. It's all good. I know people will show up. It's, kind of early-ish, but then again, uh, DM James always seems to have a full room in the middle of the morning and afternoons. I'm like, hey, Justin,
Oh.
what's up? I'm like,
Shadow. A little painting thing. You obviously have used the Army Paint or Speed Paint metallics.
yes.
Obviously, they're not great, but they're not bad either. The
Uh,
Fanatics.
They were
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
best for a very long time.
tell me
Well,
the Fanatics are better.
They blow them out of the water.
Ah,
where
shit.
the Speed Paints have that ever so tiny bit of graininess, the metallics for the Fanatics are perfectly flat.
You guys, have you
And they
looked?
go
Have
on.
you guys priced that set of the complete Fanatic set?
Yes, I have. That's
Here
why
it's like
I go to
$700.
that's why I would suggest you go to Gnome Depot.
Gnome Depot.
They got it for
That's awesome.
Gnomish Bazaar. Crap.
That's
I'm
that's now a thing. I'm just gonna call it Gnome Depot. That's awesome. I was just there the other night, and
Hey, Shadow, when you open up your store, we've got a name for you.
Gnome Depot.
that's cool.
No.
You just have Justin working there with a big long beard and a pointed hat.
Out of this world models and minis. Welcome to
That
the
sounded more
show.
like a wizard.
Yeah.
I am painting. Hold on, let me do this right. Right now, I'm painting these little guys. They're Star Schlock Insectoid Mantis sci-fi minis. Star Schlock is a miniature skirmish game using all of the classic sort of I'm not going to say rip-offs, but they're all inspired by the classic 70s and 80s TV
So,
movies.
do you know out of this world models in real life?
Nope.
No.
Nope. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen uh, you here before, but welcome to the show.
Well, because
Hopefully,
he ends with John. Is his name John, or does he know your real name and is it John?
no. Close but no cigar. Um,
So your name
Wait.
is John Atalia.
That's his.
Don't mind
I
me.
would say that's his stage name, but it isn't. It's his real name.
Welcome to the show. We're all friends here, just goofing off and painting some minis. Right now, I'm just doing the bases. I for my my Star Stock minis, all of the bases, I hit them with sand for the basing material, actual real sand, and then I give them an orange, so kind of like they're on Mars. It's actually dry rust from Army Painter. I water it down really good, and then
I like
Hmm.
I like just slathering the base with super glue and then having a little tray of talcum powder or baking soda.
yeah, I do the same thing, but with sand, and then with
Yeah, but both those powders are a finer grain, so
yeah.
they're more in scale.
Well,
Um,
I kind of, I live near gravel pits, if you will, sort of, and I kind of like the idea that it's, because it's irregular, and I get little
Doc,
in there that just pop up from
we
time
need to
to
get a
time.
soundboard.
Hey, what's up, Doc?
Yeah, that's why we need to get like "What's Up, Doc." And every time he shows up, we can play that sound clip.
It's either that or Doc Flamingo, welcome to the show, or welcome to the show, Doc Flamingo. Yeah,
No, what's up, Doc is better.
I know, but I'm sure he's heard that like 50
Yeah,
million times. And Doc, you
doesn't
know where the link is. You want to come on
doesn't
down
matter.
and be the next contestant on
Oh,
whatever the hell it
Shadow.
is we're doing.
You
Are
do
you
not
looking
want
for
to
a-
be on Shadow's version of The Price is Right. You do not want to be on that version.
Because as everybody knows, everybody's got a price. Oh my goodness, I am almost out of dry rust. Whatever shall I do? I guess I'll have to.
Buy more.
Yeah. No, I was going to say go
You
to Gnome Depot and check out some
here
more of
at
their.
Gnome Depot. Nom Depot. You're gonna have to hire a bunch of Welshmen. Oh wait, no, you weren't here for that joke. That's dwarves or midgets, short people. Oh, but now
Price is cake.
we're
I
talking
never.
about Shadow here. It's not cake. Oh, my price. Yeah, my price is cake or pie.
And then when I'm done, when these dry, I bet that's Omen. Then I hit them with a red Army Painter wash. Oh, it is Doc. Hey, Doc. Long time no see, buddy. How
What's
you
up,
doing?
guys? Fun.
And then when the red wash dries in all the nooks and crannies, I'll go back over and dry brush some more dry rust. But since I'm just about out of dry rust here, I'm probably going to use it up tonight. I'm going to need more.
Anybody here looking for a good dry blood or a good slime effect? Because the Army
Hey,
Painter,
Mr. Clicky's here.
because the Army Painter of Disgusting Slime and Dry Blood for the fanatics are like the dry blood is amazing. I've been looking for something that actually looks like blood, and the slime effect. You put any color behind it, it'll have a nice tint. But if you put white behind it, it'll definitely be radiation green.
Really, I've been looking for colors like that. Oh my goodness, we have a full house tonight, almost. Room,
Hey.
almost, we got room just for Raven. Otherwise, she'll. I'll never hear the end of it. I was going to join the show, but there's no room for me. Hey, all I got
Yeah,
to say, Raven, is
it's
got a
first come,
paintbrush.
first serve.
You got a paintbrush? Get your ass in here. I know you do. Or a hammer, or a chisel, or something. What's up, Owen? How you doing?
What
okay.
about
Well, I just gotta say one thing.
what about a little Hitler?
just for Joe? Just for Justin,
I have a little zombie Hitler.
which is for Pirate Board. He's such a big Mork board. Thing.
Yeah. I've seen the Pirate Borg. They're doing an expansion for it.
Yeah. No, I just thought
Hey,
that it was right up there for you.
did,
So
did any of you guys see Connell's post on Facebook?
No.
no, because it's Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I took what's his name? That old singer dude. It doesn't matter. He had that song a few years ago. Why you on Facebook?
Not familiar with it, but okay. Well, he was sounding a little down, so I responded, and maybe he'll show up and and have to just hang out in the green room all night. That would be hysterical. Okay, next on the list of let's gossip. Are you guys familiar with the train tutor?
No.
No.
That sounds like a
Okay.
bad case of gas.
No, he's a British guy who's been doing terrain making videos for the longest freaking time. He's one of the very first people I ever subbed to,
The terrain
and
tutor.
he's going through some troubles too. So if you guys are out there in TV land or are familiar with his channel, go send him some love um, and encouragement because
The
he's
terrain
about to lose
tutor.
his studio and his house and all this other crap because of a divorce. I mean, he's like 65, maybe 70, and I'm just like, what the shit,
So
you know?
speaking of a divorce, and this is what happened years ago, is my son's mother was able to get an entire leatherworking workshop for $5,000 just for all of the gear in there because the guy was going through the divorce and he was just getting rid of almost all of his stuff, including which I wish I'd had the money at the time was all
Okay, yeah, I do remember this guy.
for reloading.
Crack on, let's get cracking. He's a
He got
great,
yeah.
nice
It-
guy. At least it seems like that when it comes to his online persona. And I was just like, oh man! And I hadn't seen one of his videos in forever. And then all of a sudden, I heard someone mention him a couple of days ago, and then his video where he's got his hat in his hand pops up, and I'm like, man, okay, I'll spread the word. Maybe uh, that'll be of some help.
I don't understand why people get divorced by the time they're 65. At this
I'm
point,
telling you.
it's why. You know?
Okay, the man side of me says because reasons, and women, it's the cash and prizes. Men just want to freaking just be left alone.
I don't know. He went through depression a long time ago, like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, and his wife stuck through with that. So there must be something else going on.
Maybe he's going through a midlife crisis.
I don't know.
Uh,
It's by 65. It's like, woman, you just stay on your side of the house. I stay on mine, and I won't even notice you. I mean, you've lived there long
You're
enough.
you're not wrong, but these days, he may very well have had a tidy nest egg or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I want to go to the Caribbean. If I take half your money, I can go do whatever I want.
yeah.
Because it's not like
That,
she's
that,
going to go out catting around.
well,
Yeah.
that's a young woman's thing. I mean, to be fair, because I dealt with when you talk to a lot of women, by the time they're in their 60s, it's what are they going to do? It's not like you couldn't just travel without him or say other things.
Please, I'll pay for the tickets.
Yeah.
Right?
It seems odd. Usually, there's something more in there. Who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to be abusive or violent or anything like that. Could be wrong. It's happened before, once or twice. Um,
Mhm.
He was neglecting her to do terrain. That's
Yeah,
why.
I do think that could be a strong case because that seemed to be when I used to watch his channel. He was always in the shop, kind of, you know, like
doing the things.
he buried his whole life into just doing that. Um,
And I will say as much as if you're cheating on your wife with terrain, she will get back at you and make sure you have to sell it all. So
yeah.
when
So you were halfway through a story, now.
oh no, just the fact that she got at the time what happened was she said, well, I just want a leather working machine, and that was for $1,500. Normally it was like $7,000 or $8,000 machine for sewing. And
Yeah.
I said, well, how much for the entire thing? And she said, oh, $5,000 because of it. And I said, well, how much each of these tools? 300 tools. She said, oh, each of the tools is worth $30. And I was doing the mental math, like, you can piece this whole thing out. Anyway, she got, must have been dozens, if not hundreds of, we're talking like elephant calf skin, uh, all these different skins, all of these different tools, everything else. I mean, he bought it for literally pennies on the dollar for that. But I wish that But the guy was in his activities. He got divorced, and he had like 5 or 6 different hobbies, each with their own kind of workshop. I was like, including a reloading, um, you know,
Ooh.
and everything else. Oh yeah, and I think that he did just out of spite, so she wouldn't get all the money. It's like I would rather get rid of this than it be sold at a fair market price, and I'll give it to someone that will actually enjoy it.
I think the time for this whole alimony nonsense is over. If we're all going to pretend that everybody's equal and able, I mean, if it's one thing, if you like put somebody through school or something while you're married and you get divorced, then I could say, maybe you owe them money. But just this as a matter of course,
I
yeah, it's
don't
going to
think
be about half this shit nonsense needs to go.
well,
Yeah.
and I don't think a lot of it is alimony. Most of that's been going away. Even Florida passed a bill for no longer lifetime alimony. I think it's only a few years now. But what you're noticing is at this point is, especially if you're retired, they get half your retirement. They get half everything starts becoming half, and that's what really gets you. And to be fair, is like most of my family once they get into their 70s, they're giving away half the crap anyway. So it's just like downsize your life, downsize your life. My aunt went from a bigger house to a smaller house. So who knows? Like you said, it's they're getting divorced. What's going to happen? So unfortunately, say he's 65, so he may be looking going into a retirement home anyway. And then you have to get rid of everything regardless.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty messed up.
Divorce is terrible. What's funny is you make a lot more money if you're together than when you're divorced. Yeah, you might get stuff at the beginning unless you were married to a multi-millionaire billionaire. But otherwise, you'd be richer off if you just stayed together and got work through the stuff. Both of you would be
Yeah,
way
but
better.
that's not what society tells you.
Oh yeah.
So it's not what you believe if you're dumb. And most people are dumb.
Well, and most people are selfish too. That is also, well, I want my own
Yeah.
space. You could, these people that are so used to living in these big giant houses, and like, okay, what you just spent on that now has to be split among 2 houses, and you can get something a lot smaller. Uh,
Yeah.
because like my rent is effectively 1,400 a month now, and or if I could get a 2,800, you know how big of a house I could get?
Yep,
Yeah.
So
it's kind of messed up. Especially when you see how hard it is to for guys. When they get kicked out of their house and they have to start all over again. With half their income and paying half of it out. I've seen so many people. I had a buddy of mine. He ended up living in his van for 10 years.
Oh, did you see the famous meme where they're showing this apartment and it overlooks the beautiful beach and everything, and the only thing in there was a TV, a PlayStation, and a
An
foldable
AR.
chair. And what was funny was he says men think this is great, women are completely horrified by it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's true. I talked to one guy. He got divorced and he got raked over the coals and stuff. He says, I said, I lived on the beach. I realized I could look at almost anything. And I think that's the big difference between a lot of men and women. A lot of women have to have their things. And they're like, you know what? They're just things. I can get rid of them. And I think mentally, and then you watch these women 5 or 10 years later, and they're like, I should have never gotten a divorce and all this other
Yep,
crap.
yep, I've seen tons of
Yeah.
that.
Well, stop listening to. Here's the big thing. I don't care who it
Stop
is.
listening to the View.
No, look at the
Actually,
people.
you don't get that
Look,
from the view that
look,
much.
look at the people around you and seeing how their lives are going, and stop trying to emulate people that are that look at how people are going to be. It's because it's all these, like, I hear a lot of it. If you're hanging out with single women that are going out all the time, then guess what? And they don't have anything good about their life that you say, "Oh, this is great." You know, that's the thing that I think people forget about. What is the sum of the six closest people to you? Um, I think that's true. You know, it's like, well, okay, if someone's telling you that it's so great, then why don't you have a boyfriend? Why don't you have this? You know, and a lot of people sabotage each other's influence. That's what gets me. Like,
And a lot
okay,
of times these settlements are absolutely savage and unreasonable. Like, do you guys remember that guy, Dave Foley? He was on
Yeah,
Kids in the Hall and News Radio.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
to pay alimony to his ex-wife based on his salary when News
he
Radio
was.
was on. And he
Yeah.
doesn't make, he pays her like 90% of the money he makes because he
He
has
was
to
in
make.
Kids in the
Well,
Hall too, wasn't he?
well, yeah. He was in Kids of the Hall. Well, that's why he left the country, right? That's why he moved to the U.S. so he wouldn't have to pay it.
No
He
good
hasn't
for
stepped
him because
foot
that
back
was
into
bullshit.
Canada because of that bullshit.
Yeah, because he went to court. So he's like, look, I don't make anything close to this amount of money anymore. That
Yeah,
was a once in a lifetime thing. They're like, too bad, you have to pay it.
yeah.
well,
They judged it on his salary at the time and refused to lower it.
well, didn't they do the same thing to Robin Williams?
Probably.
You know, that's what
Uh,
gets me about it. Well, the other problem that I have with a lot of stuff in child support is it says, "Oh, you have to make the same amount of money, or whatever your potential is." That's well, that sounds nice, but if you lose your job that you've had for 20 years and you have to start from the bottom, you aren't going to be making the same money that you did when you got fired. Or
yeah.
so, you know, that's what I find horrible. It's like, okay, don't assume that you can make the same amount of money at the same time in your life.
Yeah, guys like Robin Williams could have easily gone on and just made every one of his gigs all about bashing the system. You know,
Well, you know,
Uh,
unfortunately, you know, we lost him and we don't know why. I'm sure there's mental illness in there, but it doesn't help him.
it was one of those cases where he got hooked up with the wrong kind of doctor, and the doctor was pushing him drugs he didn't need, and
He also had early onset Alzheimer's and another similar degenerative condition. He was like going to pieces, and he knew what was coming. I think he just didn't want to, go out like that. Which I
Sure.
mean, when you have I mean, I in that situation, I'm not sure I'd want to stick around and drool on myself for an additional 10 years.
No, I know what Brian's
I
talking
didn't
about
hear
there. If you
that.
look at
But
it, there he's talking about that. But he and I have had that discussion, which is sometimes why does the judge need to get involved with everything if both sides agree to whatever's going on? That's what gets me about it. It's like if you two agree with
yeah,
it, why will you mandate it? It's only if something's going on that you come back. But,
you know, and a lot of this shit would have been avoided if the courts didn't decide to just nullify all prenuptial agreements.
they don't. You have to.
it happens a lot though now.
Yeah, no. I'm
It,
not saying they aren't, but I've listened to several attorneys, and they explain. You know, a lot of it is you can't do it under duress. You can't. You know, there's a lot of stuff that people forget about. Is if you
What's duress? Sign this, or we're not getting married. That's
the
that's
duress is when you suddenly do that at the day of the wedding. That's
yeah,
that's duress. There's a big difference if you because a lot of them say if you're going to sign the prenup, do it 6 months in advance, and most prenups are thrown out for hiding assets. That's where you really get burned. Is if you hide your assets and then you make them sign a prenup, then that's where they can throw it out. So, you know, when people look at it, you have to start saying, okay, there's more than just what you hear in the news media. So if I had $1 million and I didn't notify whoever I was going to marry that I had that $1 million and they signed a prenup, they don't have to was hiding the asset. So that's where most of them get done.
hey, what's up,
But
Brian? Your
Dr.
ex
Dre,
paid you?
yeah,
yeah.
he and I, that's what he and I talked about.
Okay.
But why does the judge care if both sides agree? If one's, you know, if the
Because
father
they're
of
an
the
activist judge
Well, all of them are.
these
well,
days, yeah, right?
No,
some
well,
of
for
it
a
is because
long
the law
time.
says X. The law says X, and they're like, well, technically, if the law says that, the judge has to follow the law, right? But our law
Uh,
included intelligent stuff. No, I'm saying honestly, do you want a judge that doesn't follow the law, or do you want a judge that follows the law? So the real problem is the law.
Well, that's the problem. You think it's the law. The law is supposed to state like equal actions, but when you have the judge giving custody of a child to a known coke user or a crackhead
I've seen it
because
so many
she's
times.
female,
Yep.
and you
Okay,
don't give
that's a
custody
different
to
aspect.
it's the
That's
same court though, Omanau. It's the same court with the same judges.
I understand, but again, if they're following the law, then they're bound by the law. Now, you're
Keyword there, if.
judgment. What's
And
that?
just so you know, Omen, I don't know
Yeah.
how much, you probably know more about the law than me overall, but something I do know, part of a judge's job is to interpret the law. That's part of the reason why you can have such wide variation in judges. If they can't just follow the law to exact, they actually have to interpret, which is part of where judges get their power trip from.
I'm going to tell you this much because I've dealt with judges for this. In certain cases, it says the judge will do X. That's not interpreting the law. The judge, and that's what I'm referring to. That's the problem with the law. The interpretation, you can say, okay, let's narrow the law a bit. So let's not get the two confused. Because I know what the law says, especially when it comes to child support, and I've gone round and round, and I've actually won against the government for it. Because guess what? They didn't read what our agreement was, and they did, well, this is what the standard is. I don't care what the standard says. What does our agreement say? And the real problem is not the judge in some cases. The real problem is the bureaucrats behind it who think they know everything and don't actually do what it says in the agreement.
Yeah, and like a lot of those laws are remnants from like 1840s and shit
Right.
like that. So
Yeah, they are.
like there are different social dynamics, right? Like the fact that most custody law is based because some kid got thrown from a horse in England like 200 years ago.
And also, as particularly with like alimony and things like that, a lot of that dates back to English common law to a period where women weren't allowed to own property.
They were allowed to own property. They just had to have male representatives. That's a common feminist bullshit lie that women were allowed to own property. Like even in the states, out of the original 13 colonies, only 2 of them didn't allow women to own property.
If you look at it, George Washington's wife was actually richer than George Washington in many cases.
Yeah.
So, that people forget about a lot of this stuff, especially
in property wealth.
Yeah, if your
Forget or
husband
didn't know to
married
begin with.
Well, no, they were literally taught feminist lies.
Well, even Roman women had property. They were business owners. So
They would just have that's where the term steward comes from, because you'd have like the man do your business for you, because he would most likely be interacting with men in tough guy situations, right? Because a lot of business back then was a lot more what we would call mobsterish today, but and that goes up until the like 1920s, 1930s.
well, even Australia, if you look at some of them, some of the women, they had hired hands.
Omen. Australia's just a myth.
Yeah, like what the fuck are you talking about this Australia for?
No, that's Wyoming.
You sure
Yeah.
you weren't getting them mixed up?
Who would ever believe
Yeah,
that
well,
there's
Canadians
an
I
animal
hear
with a
talk
poison
aren't
spur?
convinced that Canada is actually a fake country. It's just colder America.
Well, that's only within 100 miles.
You're
from the border.
absolutely right, Brian. The state wants their fees. That's a huge part of it. I know a guy who made a deal with his ex. This much now, and that's it. I'm going to borrow some money from my family. and you can have this much money now, which will be, otherwise you're going to be getting like $75 a month for God knows how long. And she said, yeah, hells yeah, I'll do that. And the courts were freaking, from what I hear, not happy at all because they were getting cut out.
Well, and while you're talking about money, there's also federal funding associated with it, where they have to do certain things to get federal funds. So they'll enact these laws because they're more worried about losing the federal funding than how it affects the man at the bottom level. There's a lot of
God, I could just imagine Raven coming into this conversation right now.
Well, I'll have to agree with Bear. He didn't say it directly, but he said it indirectly. What America needs is good old-fashioned French Revolution. America's never had
all the
one,
people
so
who
the
say that
higher-ups think they can get away with anything.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
says
it's
that
just
until you're
it's
stuck with
the
it.
thing. The problem with that TCG is that we wouldn't know where to stop.
Well, neither did they.
Yeah, and you'd pretty much be left with like three guys and a donkey when you're done. There'd be nothing left of the country.
Well, and what happened immediately afterwards? You got Napoleon.
I think he was a myth too.
He was a lot taller than most people claim.
Yeah, he was average height at the time. And the
Yeah, but
French,
average height was
Napoleon
like
was actually. You see, Napoleon was actually 10 foot tall. He just wanted everyone to think he was short, so when he appeared on the battlefield, no one knew who he was.
well,
He was that kind of coward, so
No, well, Napoleon had the 5'6" in English and 5'2" in French. Because the units weren't quite the same.
So am I like the only one
Whiskey
paying?
Rebellion?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm painting.
Oh, okay, cool.
what's this? What's this right here?
I don't know. It's black and white. I don't see any
An
colors.
amorphous blob.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault you're colorblind.
That's why you always
No.
black.
See, what it actually is there's a small black hole that only sucks color out of Justin's general vicinity.
I think that's called his belly button.
Yeah, it's right here.
For God's sakes, don't show it.
It's under my belt, my belt buckle. Because I wear my pants properly, unlike you savages.
Yeah, nobody's going to deny it. I love it.
Unfortunately, the Whiskey Rebellion did not end well for the Whiskey Rebels.
Actually, I'm going to mention
Nice,
this.
George.
That's because Justin dresses like an 80-year-old man by pulling up his pants high enough. He also believes that the bottom part of your cup should be at least 4 feet away from your ankle. So I'm sorry, 4 inches away from your ankle.
No. They're right on the ankle.
Oh, okay.
It's just I buy pants that are the right length. That's the trick.
Yeah, in Justin's defense, Jackie does the same thing with his belt. I'm like, oh my God, you really are an 80-year-old man in the 16-year-old boy's body. Oh, dear Lord. And I wonder
I've
why.
always worn my belt at that height personally, so you can say the same thing about
and
me.
I wonder why he never brings a girl home.
It's because they're a waste of money. That's why.
And he does have some money, so
Yeah,
I kid you not.
in exactly 4 wallets.
Right. Today he wore his long dress coat, slacks, boots, white button-down shirt, a vest. I was like, "Would you forget the top hat?" He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm kidding." And gloves. I'm just like, riding his bike, and with the top hat on and riding his bike. It's
I'm not sure Brian has pants, to be fair.
yeah. It's all good, Brian. You don't want to wear pants? That's between you and your lady, and if she's cool with it, uh,
Well,
Just don't go
technically,
chainsawing.
technically, if you're going with your lady, hopefully you aren't wearing pants. You know, between the two of you.
Well, you better hope he wears the pants in the relationship at least.
I don't know. We were talking about Gorian lifestyles yesterday.
about what?
Gorian lifestyles.
Oh yeah. We were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Raven
oh.
never mentioned that later on when I talked to her, so she either got scared or knew better.
Or she got so engrossed in it she couldn't take her eyes off it.
There is that possibility, but I somehow doubt it.
I could see Raven being into that.
I don't know. Raven has proven to have some strange tastes for the way she acts, if you ask me. Not bad strange, just like, okay, I wouldn't have expected that from you.
Now, here's the real question: is Brian trying to get on the stream or not?
I don't know. I said there was only one spot for Raven,
No,
but
no. First come, first serves. We like Brian more.
And I can always drop out. I'm gonna go swimming in about 10 minutes. So.
Besides, if Raven got here, she wouldn't realize she wasn't on the screen.
I was going to say she would probably just be, "Oh my God, you guys are terrible," with the way the
Oh.
conversation's been going.
Next thing she knows, she's on screen, and you hear, of course, I'll tell them. Oh shit, I'm on camera.
There you go. Brian's here. Or he says he is.
He's just chilling. Yeah, Brian, where you been, man? How's the?
No, let him in.
No, he's not. It only says 5.
Oh,
okay.
it only says 5.
Yeah,
I think he's saying he's just chilling in the chat.
Yeah, if you want to
Okay.
pop in, feel free, bro.
Oh.
So I've got what? Today's like the 19th.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that gives me 11 days to finish 50 miniatures.
I
Hey,
made
what's
a
up,
huge
Bert?
boo-boo with some of my miniatures.
Uh-oh.
I
What'd you do now?
bought some I forgot what they're called, but they're basically Sisters of Battle with jetpacks. So I was like, okay, I got to strip these. I stripped them with alcohol. Problem is whoever did it used some kind of paint that alcohol
Raven.
barely touched. Hey, Raven.
Hey, Raven.
And when I
Lacquer.
did manage to go off, it literally come off 1 or 2 layers at a time. And after 3 weeks of soaking in alcohol, I had barely seen plastic only on the edges. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I need something stronger.
Have you tried LA's Awesome?
Not yet.
I like it.
Well, this is where I found out the hard way. Do not use Goo Gone.
Oh, yeah.
It does not like plastic. It pitted the whole thing.
Yeah,
Not badly, but enough that there's a visible texture to the entire model.
Yeah, that's how I got a whole bunch of new Cowgirls and Men in Black miniatures, because I did something and it pitted the shit out of them. Oh, yeah, I used LA's Awesome, but I put them in the Sonic Cleaner for just a little bit too long. Yeah, don't do that either. But if you don't have a Sonic Cleaner, yeah, those.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used Goo Gone once to get some off a jewel case on a CD, and the thing just turned like white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goo Gone does not like plastic.
It's got an organic solvent in it, and well, that's the primary ingredient in plastic cement is organic solvents. So,
Like a what do you call it? Like
That explains a lot.
a citric degreaser kind of thing.
Yeah, that's supposed to be.
no
its
organic
claim to fame.
solvents like turpentine.
I know turpentine was. Raven, you've been summoned. You are supposed to appear before this court to be judged.
We talked about this before on how to make plastic cement, Shadow.
That's done. I just didn't know it was an organic.
Yeah. That's the
I
type
thought
of
it
solvent.
was. I thought it was something more chemical.
Man-made?
Yeah.
Well, it is man-made. It's just based on like plant stuff and not oil stuff.
Okay.
Like turpentine.
Yeah, I never really used a lot of turpentine. Maybe acetone and.
Yeah, acetone's in the same family.
When I worked in a
Nobody
bar,
uses
the thing
turpentine
they used
anymore, man.
Yeah, that's what I
Talks-
figured. It was like. That was like.
But it's the one I always remember, though, right? Because I still remember the smell.
I worked in a bar years ago, and whenever we got graffiti on the walls, cheap like citrus vodka was the best thing.
Mhm.
Stuff came right off.
You probably could find some of that around here. What small town? 5 liquor stores.
Yeah.
Of course.
The smaller the
Priorities, man. Priorities.
And 6 bars.
Yeah, and I don't drink, so I know what I'm talking about. It's during the COVID,
Ooh.
all the liquor stores were open.
Yeah. Priority.
essential business.
Okay,
They-
okay, Raven.
They tried closing them
Raven,
here.
there is nothing more
Yeah, why
important
does
than,
Owen Al
being-
have turds
than
as his
sitting on
icon?
this panel and being belittled by us. Oh shit! Did I say that out loud?
No, Raven, they're called fried foods. I highly recommend eating them because they're delicious.
Yes.
They tried closing the liquor stores here during COVID, but they had to quickly reopen them because they're having too many
Break-ins.
alcoholics show up at the hospital with withdrawal symptoms.
Alcoholics in Canada? I don't believe it.
Oh well, look at the number of Americans the U.S. government poisoned during Prohibition. I mean, it was like tens of thousands of people.
Speaking of turpentine,
Medications, huh? You could do that.
Raven, I'm joking with you. No, they're chicken Kievs what they are, Raven. If you see the full picture.
I didn't think that was even like legal.
what?
Oh, the
Oh,
U.S.
the-
government
the-
is the one that did it. Yeah.
No, Brian's now picking up prescriptions as part of his DoorDash and delivering prescriptions.
That's
That
Oh, yeah,
actually,
you just
it's funny because you would think that would be a more, honorable, more in demand thing than stoners needing their munchies at 12 p.m. and they're too high to freaking get in the car. But
Here's
good
what
for-
amazes me is the number of people who are broke that use DoorDash, even though they keep going further and further into debt.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
You broke? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, well, I keep myself on such a budget that
Right.
I'd have to dip into my savings to fill things. But I don't want to be that guy in his 60s having to work
Mm-hmm.
at Walmart, which I probably will be
Well,
doing
you
DoorDash.
you
like
look at
Brian.
this. You look at this the wrong way, Justin. If it gets you out of the house,
Yeah, I can get out of the house with one to have to go to Walmart.
I can't imagine those are very good jobs. I knew guys when I worked at a liquor store who did it. It wasn't DoorDash; it was a company that just did specifically liquor stores, and they ran those guys ragged and grossly underpaid them.
oh yeah. Well, that's what gets me with a lot of it is they're like, oh, you make all this street money. I'm like, yes, but after you take all of the wear and tear on your vehicle and everything else, you're barely making above minimum wage. So
I mean, you're better off delivering pizzas than working for one of those guys.
Yeah, that's gig work, and the fact
Okay.
that they want to turn everything to it.
I don't want to be mean, but Brian, there are, my agency may be having a couple of openings. One of our guys just passed away from stomach cancer last week. So
Oh fuck!
if
That's
he
the guy
wants,
you were
yeah,
telling us about the week before.
yeah. Well, we expected him to pass away during Christmas, but he hung on, which is good because that allows you to get all your affairs in order and everything else. But
Yeah.
no, but I mean, letting Brian know it's a lot of hours and it's a lot of time away from home, but most of those guys are making 180 to 150 a year. That's not bad, Brian, if you're making $4K a month, actually. So
Yeah, if you hustle at that job, you can make a lot of money, and if you're smart enough to put some of it aside for your car, I told him to put 10% of everything he got away for car investment.
yep.
I don't know if he's done that or not, but you know.
Well, like most things, if you live below your means, you'll find out that you'll do a lot better. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. And I talked about this. Oh, I got a pay raise, so I'm going to raise my standard of living. Oh, I got a pay raise to lift my standard of living. Like, well, you keep your standard of living pretty low. That's how you watch all these people. Like, well, how do you get all that money? Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine, Brian. I was just letting you know that there may be a job position opened up. Since being qualified for it, and those guys, of course, work 10 to 12-hour days, 6 days a week. But they're away from home about 200 plus days a year.
Yeah, I don't think Brian can with his son be away.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate situation there.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm just glad he's been able to spend all the time that he has been with his son. The way that he talks, it's like every day is a blessing. So.
Yep. And they are.
Oh, it's only a blessing if you get to taste them. Man, I keep telling you, if you take the Justin child rearing course, you'll be a better parent.
I still
Or
believe
go to
in
prison.
Or go to prison.
I still believe in the Roscoe way, which was, like, so how do you take care of the children? He says, well, I feed those little motherfuckers at 8 in the morning, and then I kick them out of the house and lock the door. And then when they come back, he said, and then the ones that are tough enough, they come back for lunch, and I feed them, and then I kick them out again. He says, we have too much of a soft world right now. So those kids, he says, too many of these kids make it to adulthood without it, survive to adulthood. He says, I'm here to toughen them up. They need to go learn to play with snakes and things. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you want to weed out the weak ones young, so
Exactly.
before you get all attached to them.
Yeah, that's why you got to feed your kids peanut butter, regardless of their allergies.
actually, they found out that it was better to give kids a little bit of peanut butter than no peanut butter at all. So.
Yeah, that's why a lot of them have these allergies, because these parents are paranoid and don't give them anything.
Dr. Spock told them mothers not to have peanut butter when they're pregnant. So these kids got these peanut allergies.
There's also a lot of other things too, which is
I'm not sure if it was actually Dr. Spock, but I'm blaming him anyway.
Oh, it was. Well, a lot of the kids haven't been out. Like, I don't think my son may have a few allergies, just because everyone has allergies in Central Texas of something, because we've got everything. But I don't think he has any allergies to food right now, which is good. But he lives on a farm and he eats a lot of quasi-organic food that's straight from the animals, so that helps.
That's good.
I actually honestly think a lot of people fake these allergies because they think it makes them sound interesting. Weird as it sounds.
The gay ones like gluten and shit, but
Like I had never heard of gluten until I was like 45 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That was killing half the world.
Well,
when did this happen?
Well, some of it is people call it allergies when it's more of an intolerance.
And then some of it I've heard is just, what they spray your food with. It's like, well, why don't you try doing this? So I don't know. I haven't had a real problem with it, but I'd like to actually grow the classical ancient wheat that hasn't been overly modified, just to see how the difference is.
Well, it's only 3 feet tall.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
first
you
thing,
don't get the massive yields. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but I would like to. I mean, I have land. Well, it's the same thing that they talk about. Um, growing your own stuff. It never hurts. Just like the eggs, man. Do you know how sad industrialized eggs look next to farm fresh eggs?
Yeah. Now, I will say that with the wheat, the height yield, as long as you're getting the stock from the 20s and the 30s, you should be okay. The stuff after that, I don't know.
Well, I think I've
'Cause-
heard a lot of it is glyphosate is what's affecting a lot of people's gluten, and that's what's getting them more than the wheat itself because that's sprayed on the plant.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to take your word on that.
I don't know. We hear a lot of things, but it's hard to actually pin it down.
Systemic pesticides probably don't help.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
that's what I
a
mean by
lot of the
that.
chemicals people are encountering are probably making.
No, systemic pesticides don't get sprayed on. They are genetically modified plants.
Well, there's a combination of both. You're also spraying herbicides on the stuff,
Yeah.
and you're also getting and genetically modified. It could be or it could not be, but that's the question of what you're eating, and that takes a lot of work to be fair. To figure out what's good for you and what isn't. It's just probably just easier to avoid stuff. It's the same thing for like dairy. Like I've seen a couple of them where there's genetic difference between a couple of different cows, and like, okay, what type of dairy are you having? And then the other one is I've had several friends that had no problems with milk unless it was pasteurized. If it was pasteurized, that's what made them intolerant to dairy.
And that's very odd because pasteurization is like a century old.
It may be, but most people weren't drinking a lot of pasteurized stuff. Because I've had fresh cow's milk. It never bothered me. And I actually prefer it. I prefer having the unpasteurized. But so you're killing both good and bad germs, so there's probably a factor there. And then the other part is just like I've heard in some cases, maybe your gut
Whoa,
flora.
what was that?
Sorry about.
But your gut flora is, I don't know if you've heard about these fecal transplants and people that were.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you didn't drop them on your foot. So,
No.
But no, the fecal transplants they found in some cases actually reduces people's allergies. So there's a lot of different stuff out there.
Well,
go ahead. I was making a joke.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody else's fecal matter. I hope that mine's bad enough.
No, actually, you need that stuff inside you to.
I don't need anybody else's fecal matter inside me.
Well,
I don't know where you
eat it. You don't want to eat it. That would be unhealthy. But he's talking about like a bacterial transplant, which is something you do if you've been in certain sorts of injuries or like gut injuries, or if you had a bout of bulimia or something stupid like that.
And that's actually they finally found a use for the appendix. That's supposed to store some of your gut flora.
Yeah,
but a lot of times,
it.
Yep, and a lot of times when people get a lot of those antibiotics and stuff, it will remove a lot of the gut flora, and sometimes they have to reintroduce it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
There's a type of sugar you can eat like a tablespoon after every meal for about a month or so, and it will kill the bacteria that forms gingivitis.
Xylitol.
Is it xylitol?
Yes, because I was looking it up, and it's the wrong type of sugar for most bacteria to eat, and so the stuff that causes plaque.
Plaque, yeah. Because for the longest time, people thought it was food debris. Oh, You got it.
Yeah, I have some.
So you take it and you just like dissolve it in your mouth and gargle it or whatever. I don't know how you do it. You chew it or whatever. You just
Well, what they've been doing is they're putting it into gum, and that's supposed to
oh
help.
oh
And
that's gum that you have there.
yeah.
I saw it in a liquid form. That's why I
Oh,
thought it was
okay.
like sugar tablets or something like that.
Well,
Um,
that way it stays in your mouth as you're chewing. But
yeah. So you take that like 10, 15 minutes after a meal.
Nice,
Uh,
Brian.
and it kills the bacteria because they think they can eat it, and then it kills them, and then they try, and then you do it long enough so there's no culture
Yep.
left in your mouth, and then you don't have to worry about that crap on your teeth. Which then starts to eat
the
the
enamel.
enamel, then the tooth, and then you get tooth decay a lot faster.
Hungar's had shirts out for a while, over a year now. The link should be on his channel. If not, it's over on Teesprings, right?
No, T Public.
T Public. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was the xylitol that they were talking about, and then if you go carnivore and you avoid the sugars, I don't know if that made a big difference also for flat.
Hey, Justin, you play your cards right. Brian's gonna buy one of your shirts too.
I just realized I wasn't even subscribed to Hungar's channel.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Well, I am now.
All
All right, guys, I'm going to head off. I know
Okay.
You take care,
Party
Holman. I guess I'll see
He's gonna
you
go swim with the
uh,
fishes.
Saturday night, maybe, or Sunday afternoon.
No, because
Sunday
I'm
night for us.
traveling. I told you I wasn't going to be here this weekend.
Oh, is this one of the nights you're not going to be around? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean
bon
maybe Saturday, but I've got to leave at like 8 a.m. to go to the
no
airport.
worries.
Well, to get up. So and then, yeah, I won't be back until the week after. So,
Damn, bro. What?
but yeah.
Okay, party on home now.
Take
All right,
care.
bye.
Safe
See ya.
travels, brother.
So, Brian, what kind of shirt are you looking for? I got one with
Offensive,
cat
mildly
girls.
offensive, or get you in a fight every time you walk out the door,
Well,
or every
I
time you
got a
walk in
lot.
the house.
I've got a lot of them to talk about Israel and anthropomorphized animals that might want to own it.
This is that miniature, and it's also the one that won the painting contest for Hungar's channel. And I had nothing to do with it. Little guy did it.
Yeah.
Still waiting on that free
Paint
shirt,
Hungar,
though.
but he still
Hungar.
hasn't painted the miniature I sent him.
Oh, did you send me?
No,
No,
Jackie.
I was making a joke
Oh.
that Jackie still hasn't painted the one.
Oh,
I sent
I
him.
don't think he's even opened the box. No, he
Actually,
hasn't.
given Jackie's nature, I wouldn't actually be surprised if he leaves it sealed forever.
I'll get on his ass right after I remind him of the other box of insect miniatures that he told me not to paint, or
Yeah.
this guy, or the other there's 30 miniatures on this side of the table that he's all like, I'll get to him. My ass.
Not to mention the huge box of Necrons.
But I got it. But I got him for that one.
And they're easy to paint, too. You just basically need a rattle can of your favorite metallic.
Actually,
I would recommend dry brushing the metallic.
what we like
It
doing
was a joke.
is hitting them up with either gold, like I did with these guys right here. I painted them gold first, and then used
Up.
sorry. They're actually gold. Then I painted with a speed paint red, so they're now a metallic red. Because we liked the Necrons that were different colors.
Yeah. I just like painting my Necrons copper color and calling it, well, not quite good. I use a bright green. I seem to like green as my power color in Warhammer.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
9 o'clock. I got to run, guys. I got to go out with somebody.
All
I will
right,
check you
enjoy.
guys later. You guys have a
Have a
good
good night.
We'll
Party
see you.
on,
Hopefully we'll
Doc.
see you Saturday, because I'll be gaming tomorrow.
Ready?
Actually,
Party on, Doc.
I got a game Saturday as well with Cal Vanoni, OGGM, RPG Grandma. Yeah, I've got that one too. Brian, that's the one I got with the Conan, the Starvarian, and the chick laying. You can see her ass. The shirt that mysteriously disappeared for 6 months.
Hey, I've got a great shirt, like a shirt like that. I'm gonna find my
Yeah.
TeePublic account.
Yeah, I don't know if at this point, admittedly, I don't know if I'm going to continue to grow my channel. I've been kind of enjoying not having to constantly edit videos.
Yeah.
Well,
But
don't shut it down.
oh no. I still do occasional things on my channel. It's just I don't know if I'm going to continue to try to grow it.
Well,
I think I might just put out a video saying, "All right, I'm done making videos. It's a pain in the ass, and it's not worth it."
well, I wouldn't even do that because then when you change your mind, people don't come back. Just take a break.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. Here's the thing: if you're gonna make a game, you need to have your own channel so that you can promote the shit out of it, so that when it finally comes out, you can start doing videos on it and get people out there who might be interested in it. Um, in
Yeah.
that sort of thing. You'll already have the infrastructure to start doing it. You already know how to do videos, and
Yeah.
when it comes to editing. I think in the almost 900, actually over 900 videos we've made, not including the live streams, we've edited one.
Should I take this thing down?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I
No,
heard.
you don't gotta show it, man. I'm just like Brian's like looking for a shirt. I sell this one. This one's cool.
Who's the dude?
They just made him up.
Just so you
My
know, it
own
looks like a guy
original
in a
character.
gorilla mask.
Yeah, it's a skull face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all
Well, for me,
black
it looks
shit.
like a gorilla mask,
Yeah.
Kind of does.
which
Where's
makes
the
it awesome, honestly.
stop shot?
So, what did you think of the mini from Gore that I sent you?
Oh, the link to it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it on watch. I get that. It's just the guy
That's
and the
cool, George.
chick. I wish it had the
Planquin or whatever it's called.
the thing in the back and the dude. That would be cool.
Good, Brian. We missed your videos.
Yeah. You put out a game the other day though.
Yeah, exactly. Don't nix it. Just come back later, dude.
Mhm. Post link
That
to your channel.
Skeletor.
Yeah.
George says post a link to your channel. Crafting.
I don't think he has admin, but I'll do it. Let me just look you up.
Brian too.
So,
Thanks, man. See, there you go. You just had your channel grow.
mhm.
We did the same thing for Bubba's. His saw a nice little jump. Jackie's is cruising up on like 60 or 70 subs for his video web series.
See you later, Per.
It just takes time, sometimes more than you think, but you keep
Yeah.
soldiering on. And
Well, when it comes to editing, if you've seen my unedited videos, I can literally take an hour and edit it from anywhere to 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
but it also
That is
depends
the main
on
reason I don't like editing. Because
it really
Yeah.
depends on what kind of videos you're making.
Your
Like,
channel is the Crafting Gamer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I think I can get a link to it right now if you want.
Wondering if I'm just
I
looking
hate
past
this.
Oh, if you look
Oh,
up the
maybe
crafting
it's-
game or Robotech, it'll go straight to here. We go.
Yeah, it might be
Okay.
because I'm looking at C and not the.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Freaking hate when I use my dropper bottles and I want one drop
This should be
and
it.
it won't stop. So you want me to copy that
Yeah,
and
I
paste it?
know.
I
I've
got
more
it,
than
man.
once. I gotta take a drop, just a tiny little drop, and it just goes. It's almost like your fingers had an automatic, an automatic clamp on it, and you just like a whole bunch right
Take
out.
care, Per. See you around.
Son of a.
Thanks for showing up, buddy.
Yeah, party on.
So yeah,
Yeah, Per was really digging the conspiracy show last week. Could tell.
Until what?
No, I could tell.
Oh,
Not until until I
It
started
ended?
running my mouth, and then he's like, "I'm out of here. This guy's a jerk."
okay. Well, I just put that link to your channel in the chat.
Yeah, because that's what friends are for, man.
Yeah.
You should have said something. I'll hype your channel every day for a month. Won't think twice about it. But after a month, you owe me $1.
50.
Oh yeah, Justin's got to get his share too, because he's
Yep.
like on half my shows. So
Yeah. Apparently I wasn't subbed, bro. I don't know how that
oh
fucking
geez, see,
happened.
look at that. You just got freaking 3-4 subs.
thank you.
But while I'm here, I'm gonna block a bunch of Minecraft channels.
Well, that's not my channel. I've been considering to reduce videos. And one of the things I've been considering doing is after I get a better computer, reducing videos and doing more video game live streams of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people say don't diversify too much, but I don't think video games and gaming is going to be too far from each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do when you live stream, I want to paint. You know, and you know whatever game it is you're playing really well. You know, and it's not
Yeah.
one of those games that disappeared. Which even then, I've seen people play like really old games. Just because that's
Well,
what they're doing.
If
And
you
people
look
are still
hard enough, you
watching.
can find even the oldest game playable somewhere. That's one of the best parts about the internet.
Leisure Suit Larry, live
Yep.
streaming right now.
Leisure Suit Larry, man.
Like I know of several like quasi or if not fully political channels that like on Friday or Saturday night they just live stream them playing whatever video game and continue to still talk politics or popular culture
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, admittedly, I get most of my painting done on stream.
Yes, even if the algorithm hates you. And Brian, why don't you just pop
Yeah.
in for a minute? Give your fingers a break. I'm sure they're all tired from driving and shit. And I'm going to take a little break and go downstairs, have a smoke, and let some paint dry. I might actually have more than half of my minis done, which is like I want to say 55 or 65 minis. I said I'd get done for Mini Warbutts Challenge, which is the 30th of the month. Which I got to remind myself to post the video on the 29th because last time I waited too long and it was like the day after, and I'm like, I never played Leisure Suit Larry. I just know it from people talking about it.
I played me some fucking Leisure Suit Larry, man.
Never even heard of it.
Was it a fun play, or was it just because it was so controversial and or kind of tacky in its subject matter?
No, it was just like I saw a weird game at the Blockbuster and I knew nothing about it. and I played it. And it,
Oh, okay,
it,
Brian.
it
Totally not a problem, dude. Not a problem. Say no more.
what?
Nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
We're just chilling on the bed. Yeah, that's what I did last Sunday, man. Went out for a little bit. Then
No, I think he means he's not dressed, nor is his lady.
yeah. That's pretty much what I did last Sunday.
Oh,
So basically, your average shadow production.
I don't know about average. I've seen
No, there were females involved.
Fair.
Brian
Uh,
says it's a fun game. I know nothing of it.
yeah. You run around hitting on chicks, and maybe you have better luck than Johnny Bravo, but probably you don't. That's
Well,
Leisure Suit
Johnny
Larry.
Bravo either had all the luck or no luck whatsoever.
He had no fucking luck whatsoever. Did he ever get laid once?
I don't think so, but I don't think they could actually show that. I'm just thinking in my head, in my own personal head canon, there had to be that one time, or there was like that girl that he wasn't interested, but she was interested in him.
Yeah, but she was also like 7, so
A seven. No, I thought there was that kind of like that, like mousy sort of Velma from Scooby Doo kind of girl who's like, you know, into him, but he didn't realize it.
they did do a Scooby Doo crossover episode. So
Really
yeah,
awesome.
you believe those punk bastards remove him from the like he was the thing that pushed Hanna Barbera through the 2000s and all that.
Uh
And
huh.
now that they when they do the roundup of all the like memorial characters and shit, they remove him from it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Because
toxic
he's
masculinity.
talks. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And that is just
Gay. It's just outright shadow quality gay. On the
you
spectrum
know.
of gays, it's like at the top there. It goes like having butt sex, Elton John, that guy from before Elton John that wore the sequence that I can't remember the name of. Then
Liberace.
Shadow, Liberace. Then Shadow, and then there's nothing above that. It's just Shadows right at the top. Butt sex, Elton John, Liberace, Shadow. That's the scale.
That's just laid it on kind of thick. I mean, come on.
Nah, I'm being generous.
Seriously, have you not seen Freddie Mercury on stage in those white shorts and
he's
suspenders?
he's he's between Elton John and Liberace. Somewhere in that spectrum, there's a bunch of steps in between, and Freddie Mercury's in there. You're like,
I saw that, and I literally threw up a little in my mouth. It's like, seriously.
and
Imagine
you're the guy who took a limo to go see
Judas Priest. Yeah, that
Judas
was, you
Priest.
gotta understand. I'd already bought
Yeah,
the
yeah, it
tickets.
was date night. Date night with Steve.
No, that was my little brother and I. We rented a limo. We had the 4 tickets
Whoa,
between the two of
man!
us.
I told you, no incest when you're writing shit.
Shut the fuck up. Can you imagine though?
We got
Imagine
rules around here.
not just me, but other dudes, other straight dudes out there that went to one of those concerts.
When you have to emphasize it, it means it ain't true.
Let me finish this. Let me finish the analogy here. Going to your first concert of either of those two bands, right? Not knowing, you know what I mean? Knowing you've got all the albums, posters, and
Queen
shit,
and
and or
Judas
Judas Priest.
Priest.
Back home, you go to the concert, and you're like, and you drop your beer, whatever. You're just like, oh my god, my dad was right, you know.
My dad was right. Uh, So your dad is much like your good friend Justin, someone you should listen to, especially when it comes to
Well, I
gaming
don't
on
listen to him
stream.
anymore. The voices have stopped since he passed. I had this friend who was like, like the rest of us, had all kinds of, rock and roll paraphernalia, rock and roll posters of various dudes. And his dad, one day, freaking, told him, "What are you, gay? You got all these fucking long haired dudes on your wall. Where's Cheryl Tiegs and Farrah Fawcett?" He tore them all down the next day at the poster shop. Fucking sure enough, Farrah Fawcett, Cheryl Tiegs, all the hotties of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I had Linda Ronstadt on my ceiling, right? Because I had the top bunk of our bunk beds, and I had Linda Ronstadt. And I could literally almost reach out and touch her. Uh, so gorgeous.
I have
Yeah,
no idea
I
who
was
that
always
is.
more of a scenery creature, like not like obviously non-human creature, monster or something like that,
Uh-huh.
or a group like a movie poster or something like that.
Once I moved to this one house, I had more of the like black light velvet posters, the Voyage, an Eddie from Iron Maiden, some other trippy posters. There were a couple I wanted to get. There was this one that was a black velvet, but like tie dye colors underneath it. But the
Mhm.
black velvet was silhouettes of men and women in various positions. Um, it was awesome. It was like like 97 different positions.
I remember they used to have like the skeletons boning posters. You'd have like all the skeletons in the different sex acts. Um, the only picture I ever put on the ceiling, and it's because I ran out of space. Don't have any posters up now. I don't think we have any framed work except for one or two pieces. But was Voyager. I had 6 of those posters because when they did the premiere for Star Trek, the first Next Generation movie. Yeah, I think it was the first Next Generation movie. They were giving them out for free,
Hmm.
so the guy just handed me like 6 of them. I was like, okay, and then I carpeted like half the ceiling with the fucking things. I blue tacked them up there. I think if you go into the other room, you can still see the blue tack on the ceiling too.
Oh, that
Yeah,
reminds
it's
me,
not blue
Justin.
tack, folks. It's not blue tack. It just turned that color after years.
Yeah, it was probably
You really could have
plasticine
seen a doctor back then. Probably could have, Anyways,
for a spaceship. I do like me some spaceship porn, but not that much. Ship
yeah. Now that Jackie's got a whole new room to decorate, I was looking at the walls, and Grandma still got all her, paintings and pictures and shit. And I'm like, when all that comes down, there's going to be room for more than one Arduin map up there. Just saying,
Does
because
he even like Arduin? Like they
oh,
paint him and shit, but does he even like it?
oh yeah, he does.
Then why doesn't he get his buddies to play a game in Arduin?
Because the rules are uh, scattered throughout 9 books. It's not,
Are they going to be doing
Oh, so
something
you're
about
saying he's
that?
as lazy as you?
no, they are literally. We're working on the game. That's something we've been talking about on the shows. They're about a year out from putting out a 3 book, core rule
We
book.
better get our game out before them.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, we need to start working that shit. You've been slacking. I've done more
I
work than you
was
have.
so ready yesterday, but after Mr. Max came on and ate up a bunch of time, I'm like, shit.
Yeah, I
Uh,
totally forgot.
I need to do stuff, and excuse number 3, 7, and 9. Um, it's like you know what? All I was going to tell you is just the
Just
Oh,
add that shit
you
to
know
the
what you guys
document that you
need?
were going to write.
Are you guys doing level ups in
yes
the
and
game?
no.
Well, I have a suggestion. Uh, have a mechanic where the players write down in in character, therefore as noir and as cheesy as possible, their events for the game, and the GM board's experience for that.
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to do experience. It's probably going to be more like to be promoted from this, rank of a police officer to the next. You got to solve X number of cases.
Yeah.
To get the promotion, you've got to have on your record that you solved 12 cases or whatever.
Damn. I really like the idea of the characters having to write the dark, the cold. It was hard to solve the case. The damp made me feel
Well, you gotta
chilled
write
to the
that shit
bone.
anyway.
But the
That's
Yeah.
what your notebook is for. The
I didn't know you guys
officers.
had a notebook mechanic already.
Yeah, where you're a detective or you're a cop, you got to have the notebook. You got to write down the clues. You got to write down the suspects, all that shit to solve the crime.
It also gives me something else to design and sell separately. If Shadow wants to design,
I was just thinking that too. Plus, that gives you guys something you can make extra money off of. Was exactly what I was going to say.
Right, along with the cheesy DM screen and
I know how to nickel and dime. I don't think we can get those made through the print on demand thing. That's going to have to be after we start getting some revenue.
and Raven.
Get in here, you lazy old woman.
That does not surprise me one tiny little bit. Oof.
Fucking Joe Elliott. Oh.
At least it wasn't Justin Bieber.
Oh, well, he wasn't alive yet. I doubt his mother was alive yet. Burn.
Brain fart.
The singer I was thinking about earlier for the song "Get Off Facebook" or whatever. That's Van Morrison's song.
Oh, that
really?
That reminds
from
me.
3 years ago.
Really, he's still around? Wow.
Yeah.
I think one of you said you don't like Jimmy Kimmel, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Who?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah.
I have no idea why you would say that, but
Because he's friends with Epstein Island folk.
I have no idea what that means. Anyway, the point is, for a while, I don't know if he still does it. Every year, I forgot what time of year, he would have National Unfriend Day, and you would unfriend people on Facebook. This thought came about because he actually paid a band who Let's Be Friends to sing "Why Can't We Unfriend."
Most not interesting. Jimmy Kimmel, not funny. Van Morrison, kind of boring. But
so
funny.
this Planet of the Apes ripoff mini, not ripoff.
Is blue? Is he supposed to be ape colored?
Oh, he's wearing pants and a shirt.
Yeah, but his face.
Oh yeah, his face. I did hit it with a Battleship Gray, which is kind of bluish, because I'm going to do some more stuff and get rid of some of the blue. But he's literally holding a banana.
I guess his name is
Mr. Max.
George Floyd. I was going a lot darker than Mr. Max.
I'll say.
You ever see the video from inside? You ever see the video from inside the convenience store?
No.
He's holding a banana. He's got the pack of smokes and a banana, and he's dancing around, all stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, I have no idea what
a hell of a drug,
about, but I got I have no idea what Justin's talking about, but given his proclivity for things, I got a pretty good idea as to what he's hinting at. I would say is that poor banana.
No.
Okay.
No, bro. Okay.
Raven, where are you?
Yeah. Shadow's bored. He needs his girlfriend.
I'm not bored. I'm just
Oh. Oh.
think we could liven up the show a little with some
Yeah.
teasing of Raven, and everybody likes that. So
Yeah. You know what shirt Brian needs to get? Not that stupid barbarian one. He needs to get this shirt.
give me a second.
Yeah.
It didn't do the beep thing again. Da-da-da. Oh,
Diabetes, the final solution. Oh.
that's really messed up. Poor Wilford.
Yeah. Uh,
I bet he's still kicking too.
no, he's dead.
Nah, he's dead.
This
See what
is
the chat's got to say. Sorry, guys.
yeah.
Def Leppard was just here last month with Journey. That would have been awesome. Yeah, never a big Journey fan. They had, a couple of good songs, but they were a chick band, dude. It was just you could never get into them. Them and the Scorpions.
Hey, I happen to like the Scorpions. Thank you very much.
Lots of people do. I'm just not one of them. They were like,
Fuck. Wilford there made it to 2020.
wow, welcome to the show, Raven.
Raven.
Right.
You got your crash helmet on?
No, should I?
You might
Always.
wish you had later.
Well, hopefully the phone will cooperate and the call won't drop.
So how you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. You guys have had a lively conversation going here this evening.
Yeah,
Nice to see Brian
we usually
in the
do.
chat.
And Doc and George and anybody else I'm missing. Thanks for showing up, guys.
Yep. Oh.
It's
How
been a
the fuck
weird
does
day.
it? Yeah. How the fuck does a guy with diabetes make it to 85? I'm just saying.
It's
Being
all that
very, very
Hollywood money,
careful.
dude. It's all that Hollywood money, dude.
It's the adrenochrome.
Could be.
No. You see, with all that Hollywood money, what he
What the
did is
hell?
have at once a year he would
Raven
go out
popped out
and have
again.
his
Jeez, I gotta
blood
keep up on that.
switched out with that of a virgin, so he would live longer.
That's called adrenochrome. Because the virgin is terrified when they take it from her.
Yeah.
I understood it. My brain just farted. I was going to say, never mind.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline and other things in it that do all that. The extended life, the Dick Clark, fountain of youth kind of thing. My
And
theory
yet,
is that
funnily
back
enough,
in
there is no other
Bye, Raven.
species that actually produces this, supposedly.
shit, Raven. I looked down for a second to apply some paint and gone like the wind.
See, I think that adrenochrome
we've hit 100
shit is
comments.
bullshit.
Really nice. Thanks, everybody. Making painting so much more fun. I literally stupid chickens. I need a crash helmet. What's up, Frederick? Long time no see. Brian says, Raven, about to pass out. You guys have a nice night too, or you have a nice night. Not you guys. I just had a brain fart. I was going to say something funny, but no one's going to believe it.
Yeah. The adrenochrome thing is like way over conspiratized. it does exist, but it's like they're not kidnapping kids off the street to.
Well, the thing that bugs me about that overall
Well,
is
it's not the street anymore. They just go down to the border and wait for the unattended minors and just say, "Oh,
Yeah,
we got a job for you. All you got to do is
they
bleed
can
into this."
they can prove
Yeah.
humans are from this planet many times over. And yet somehow magically we're the only species that produces a youth serum when scared.
No, it makes
Yeah.
perfect
That makes
sense
absolutely no sense.
biologically. Nope, nope, nope. The hormones and the things that are going on when you are terrified, the flight or fight
Yeah,
reaction.
like every mammal has that, bro.
Right, but we're not that animal.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that way back in the old days, like the Aztecs and the Mayans, when they were sacrificing people and then eating their hearts, I think they discovered that hey, I feel kind of different after doing that, and that's kind of where
Yeah.
it started. It makes
Well,
sense, and that's how I run it in my my culty games and that sort of thing. Is they're doing that
you
along
are
with some
aware
awesome
that
native
most forms of sacrifice
troops.
didn't actually involve fear. A lot of it was either like in the case of one tradition, they stole warriors, usually a leader, and then just slashed him to death as he was chained to a giant stone.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Or
sure he was
and
pretty
or
scared up until that point.
well,
Mm.
maybe not. And or
He might have been
most of
on
their
drugs.
victims were
Sure.
drugged, so drugged there was no way for them to be stoned. That's a common misconception. They didn't
Just
tie them
scared.
down; they drugged them up.
Yeah. With frog skin. Don't lick the brightly colored frog, Shadow.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah, I
good
won't
for
do
you.
that again.
again.
Again. Today.
Right.
Yeah, he just got one off a little thing in a corner. So whenever
I
he
just
doesn't want
needed
to
a
be part of the
bump.
world, he just
I
goes
had
to
a
the, he
show
just
to
goes to the
do.
frog and lick.
I had a show to do. I wanted to be, peppy and peppy, not Pepe.
Pepe. Pepe.
I mean, yes, there were times. I will not deny this. There were times where the sacrifices were not involuntary, but most of the time that was captured during war and sacrificed as an offering to the gods as a thank you for letting them win the battle.
Oh, so there's a lot less human sacrifice than
That is true.
through history.
A lot of blood sacrifice was actually by the kings and queens, quote unquote, because their blood was the purest because they were royalty. So their blood was actually the most demanded by the gods.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of not as in killing themselves, but bleeding themselves involved too.
A lot of the like pagan sacrifice shit is like Christian
Frederick,
revisionism.
only for orcs and chaos cultists and stuff like that. And from my time in certain fields, e- even if it didn't wasn't 100% of what we've been led to believe it is and does, just kind of like Satanism. There are people out there that believe it, and that can give you a placebo like effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by we need to learn what kind of characteristics would be game usable. You mean for our cop game? We're going to keep it as simple as possible. We've got four, I think, physical, mental, something, and psych. Your resistance to traumatic stress and things like that. And I believe we got that ribbon a little while ago. What's up, Dean? I know it's been a while since I did a God Wars video, but nobody's watching them, so I wanted to make the next one, really good, and just been getting distracted. I hate how everyone gets sacrifice and offering mixed. Um, Yeah, I don't know. So are we scared kids now? What's going on? No, there's no kids watching, and no kids were harmed in the making of this video.
That you know
Bigfoot in
of.
WW2.
Well, I don't know.
Power of
I think
positive
I heard
thinking.
one of my nephews fall in the dirt earlier.
That counts.
I got an extra 3 days of life from that.
You're pretty easy to please there, Justin.
Hey, every day counts, man. I just need to hang out at the park and like pay the bully to like push little kids around. About 6 or 7 of them get knocked over. It's an extra month. Do that once a week. You'll be ahead of the curve.
God. I know you're a weenie, but I cannot picture you being that petty.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't picture me being petty.
That petty. I can picture you being petty. You know, we all have our moments, but like, you know, vicariously getting your rocks off because the kids are falling down in the swing set.
Not get my rocks off. Get an extra life force.
You know what I mean. You say life force, I say rocks off. Well, you know. Yeah, me neither, Dean. I think it's because right now and for a while, especially us YouTubers, not myself, but others are really into that whole, you know, gritty first through fifth level. That's it. That's all there is. You're gonna die, so never aim for the stars. Never, you know, try to run those epic campaigns. Awesome, Raven. I'll let you in just a second. You know, or even, you know, dream that it's a possibility that your character could be something other than just the, you know, the rat catcher and the, you know, scullery maids and crap like that.
Hey, don't bam out the rat catcher.
Okay, go.
You know, Raven, you are now here. How you doing?
I'm okay. I tried clearing out. I followed the help pages, so hopefully this won't get dropped again. I don't know. We'll find out.
The help.
Don't you know, Raven? Those
pages?
help pages are just meant to confuse people.
I know, but this time I'm so sick of this happening, and I don't know why. It does this on the
Well,
phone all
you're
the
sick of
time.
it because it's annoying, and you've got better things to do with your time than waste your time. Why it happens? That's because you haven't made the proper offering
Pranks.
to your cat gods.
Yeah.
And then they're
No,
angry and displeased with you for not having sacrificed more raccoons to their you know, demonic altars, or maybe
exactly.
it's cats to the raccoons. I'm not sure, and I always get those two confused.
Just do them both for good measure.
You just play both sides and see which one gets more angry. So what are you doing, Raven? You painting? You just fending off cats, sculpting, whittling, something creative like that. That's just not even here.
Hmm. Yeah, she left again. George, you're mistaking me with that guy over there.
Where?
Uh, if you're saying I'm a energy vampire from the Shadow TV show.
What we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
Never heard of it, buddy. Oh, excuse me, guys.
It's
Oh,
it's the new one, and since it's incredibly gay, it's obviously
highly successful.
that guy, that guy, that guy. Oh,
Her favorite cat would be a sacrifice, and the one she hates an offering. Can it be both? I mean, she's got
I
20.
I recommend she takes the 5 she likes the most and the 5 she likes the least, and
Okay,
sacrifice
Raven.
all of them, and
Well,
then
she's got this
do the
big
same for
black
the
cauldron.
raccoons.
She's got this big black cauldron, right? I mean, it's like, I mean, it's really big, right?
She
Of
got
course.
she got a real one.
Yeah. And I was like
You see
thinking,
mine? It's just a little brass thing, man. I
no,
feel.
no.
I
I mean,
feel
she
like,
could probably fit herself in it. Don't do that, you know, because you might get stuck, and then they'll find your skeleton in the thing.
Well,
and
if
No,
you
here's
do
the
get
thing is,
into it,
Raven-
Raven, set up your camera as a live stream so we can all watch you get stuck in it and laugh.
I don't want to watch
then if you're
Raven
lucky,
bathe.
one of us will call 911 for your local area and get someone out there. Not right away, but we'll get to it.
Well, we'll wait a week or so.
But here's the plan. She takes the cauldron, right? She puts a can of tuna fish open at the bottom of the cauldron.
With some
Waits
rat
for them all
poison.
to just freaking jump in. Then she puts a big old metal lid on it and lights up the fire, and maybe gets a dozen out of her hair. Just puts the ones she likes, like
It
locked
has a
up in
really
the
good
bathroom.
stew.
Yeah.
What's up, Mac? How you doing? Super geeks. Now we're super geeks, huh? Yeah, I guess so. The vampires are very degenerate in that TV series, but I still like it. Uh, I haven't watched anything in like 2 weeks other than YouTube videos, but I'm thinking about tomorrow after the show, depending on what time it ends. I'm thinking about watching Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. It's on Tubi.
I've got it on DVD. So I'll just throw in the DVD and hit the treadmill, watch it, maybe get a nap before my game.
Equilibrium.
Just don't fall asleep on the treadmill.
Yeah, well, no, that's not possible.
Well, I don't know.
That'd be funny as hell, though, wouldn't it?
Just make sure
Yeah,
you film it.
Yeah, we see you on camera and we just like, Shadow, why is half your face scraped off?
Oh, excuse me, guys. Wow, that's
Yeah, I think I might bail at the top of the hour, the 2 hour mark.
no worries.
I want to do the thing that you just gestured you need to do too.
Which was nap,
Nap.
sleep. Yeah, I
I
I
want
had
to get
one
up
day. I
early.
mowed the lawn. I did a bunch of other stuff. And didn't get a nap.
hate
And
napping.
then anytime I eat like lasagna or something with a lot of cheese,
Oh, jeez.
I get it, Dean. But a lot of people out there in our circles, they don't like doing that. Not even high fantasy, but just beyond the as soon as they get any sort of property or political power or a title like being knighted or anything like that, it's like they either don't know what to do or they just they've done that same thing, get to seventh level, start over, rinse, repeat for so long that they just want to keep
They
doing
have
it.
no ability to grow beyond it. That's why I hate the "I keep my party poor" fucking attitude that some
Ditto,
people
me
in
too.
those
That's
circles.
like,
Yeah.
well, then why am I doing this? Because
Yeah.
I'm a filthy materialist, and I'm in it for the money and the gold and the treasure. So, no, I like the other stuff.
Yeah.
But
Like, I have no problem with the other stuff. I like it too. It's just,
it's a gauge of success. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Sure,
don't.
Conan always spent his, like a drunken sailor, but that's because in Conan, we know what he was spending his money on. It was wine, women, and song. And
Yeah.
in a role playing game, you might get the wine. You might even get the song from your gay ass bard compatriot, but you are not getting the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
It's just,
you could suggest at it with the fade to black or whatever. Like,
sure.
I said it. I went and spent money on hookers in one of our sessions, right? But
Right.
I want that to be my choice, not the DM's choice.
Right. And,
Yeah.
always, striking out, so to speak.
Yeah. And
Gets old after a while. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
after like third level, when you're like kind of a big damn hero, at least in the village,
Yeah.
you may not get the princess, so to speak,
Yeah.
but damn sure there's somebody in that village who's like, hey,
Yeah. Or it's like the you just killed like 400 monsters and uh, gargoyles and orcs and some dragon, but you're gonna allow some city guard to tax the fuck out of you. The first time I come across a city guard that wants to tax me a third of my fortune, which I'd be spending in their town anyway, which they would be taxing off their own civilians, so they'd be getting it one way or the other. Um,
You're
you know
you're
how
you're,
fast
you're
I would just declare myself uh,
evil.
consul of that town and kill the person that demanded the taxes in the first place.
Hmm. Or just say,
Yeah,
you know what? We're just going to leave.
yeah.
We'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else that does hasn't heard of us. We'll hide our gold, and then we'll spend it the way we want, and you
Yeah,
can, pound sand. Yeah, it's just like let them spend it. They're gonna spend it like drunken sailors, anyways. You know,
yeah,
it's not like they're not gonna be like within a week going, oh man, we need some more money. You know what I mean? They're gonna come up with
yeah,
reasons to want to go into your next dumbass dungeon.
yeah. And what's the worst? I buy a little land in the area, which I should be doing, and building my own keep or business, or
Or starting a family, a farm, whatever. Exactly. And
yeah,
um, but then again, there's those players also that help with that by saying, no, I don't want to settle down. I want to just keep going from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon.
which is fine. Which is fine.
Sure, sure. I mean, because back in the turn of the previous century, there were those guys who were always going on safari and looking for ancient ruins and doing all that kind of the
Stupid
Mummy,
shit.
Indiana Jones kind of stuff, and then they'd come back to the Explorers Club or whatever little
But
fraternity they belong to
they
and
got
pick up
they got
trophies.
they got piss ass rich doing it too, right? So
Mm-hmm. And,
uh,
and if you notice, not everybody did it back then. It took a special breed of guy, an actual adventurer,
mhm.
and that's what. Hey, what's up, Dean?
Dean.
Hey, I would. My eyes are darker than dark, so I'm skipping the camera today.
Don't even worry about it, brother.
But yeah, I do. Like I said before, like I do agree. Like I think the game should move towards something bigger, even if it's
Mhm.
just like, oh, you're taking up from your parents, like you retire the characters and then the children
Then,
takes
then,
over.
then, then you skip
Mhm.
forward 20 years, and their kids now want to go be adventurers. I love that trope.
Mhm.
Where
I'm
you've succeeded, you've built a small castle or keep, and all your player characters retire. Maybe some of them marry each other, or they marry somebody else. 20 years later, they've got kids that are, first level, cool, and they want to go take after their parents and go do the same things they did. Maybe even go visit the same dungeons, to see if there's anything there, anything moved in, and then they find that secret door that the parents missed. Oh my God, how great a trope is that? Oh, guess what, mom
Yeah.
and dad? Remember that room that had the fountain? Well, it turns out if you turn the fountain or push a button, there's a secret door, and we went down, and oh my God, that would be great.
Also, we
Yeah.
burned down all the candle. It turns out you just missed several platinum coins. Fuck.
Yeah. You know that dungeon you went into. There's like 8 more levels to it.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
No, there were only two. There were only two. Nah, there was a dragon at the bottom too.
Hmm. And now we need to borrow your bag of holding that you wouldn't let us borrow before, and we'll fill it up and bring it back like 8 times.
And we can
Yeah.
afford like 2 armies. As to explain that one below, and like I said, it's probably PG-13, but it's basically at some point to help a nymph queen like recover an item that's been stolen from her like centuries ago. And when I
Mhm.
say nymph queen, I mean like a nymph that's not like tied to a specific river or something. Like she can move
Uh
about.
huh.
Um, then at some point, like I rolled for random encounters, and I kept getting Fae and like rolling high on like reaction
actually,
roll. So I said, okay, she's back, and the players have like gotten like 2 to 3 levels higher up, and they are like getting renowned. You know what? She has some daughters she needs to be taken care of. Or at least it was my thought, and the players were receptive of like, sure, we have nothing against taking a second wife.
Second, third, or
Well, the
fourth.
point was like there were no expectation of like them being like their children like inheriting everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like a preservation of the bloodline kind of thing.
hmm and that builds its own adventure hooks, things
Yeah.
like that. When you let the players get that kind of involved, otherwise they're just they finish adventure. Okay, let's go to the help wanted posters, and that's it, and it's all on
Yeah.
you. Let them decide. It's their freaking character's life. Let them decide what they want to do.
Well,
And if it's a bit of the slice of life of whatever your world is for a while, run with it. That's what was great about so many other fantasy novels. They often got dragged out of that. Kicking and screaming. They're like, I finally got a house, a wife, kids, whatever, and now you need me to go off to this foreign land and do this stuff.
well, like in the Wizards Rules series, Sword of Truth, sometimes labeled as some of the best books, in my opinion, in that series are the ones where, like, one of the main characters is like taken away from the main conflict and forced to just like live their life for a while. Um, that happens a few times in that series. And it's just like you got these conflicts happening in the background, and then for whatever reason, the characters like I don't know, trapped in the mountains until the snow thaws over or whatever. Or,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Or he's got a wife and kids, and the
he's got
kids
the
are
wife
like
and
3 years,
kids.
4 years old, and he doesn't
The,
want
the,
to leave them like that.
there's one book where the main character uh, is captured by like a sorceress
Mm-hmm.
in the opposition and forced to live like a mundane life for the year. So he's like concerned that his I think he's married by then to the female co-star. Worried what's going on with her and all that kind of stuff. It was a really good story. I think that's Naked Empire. It doesn't matter. Good series. I keep telling you to read it. I might have to like send you the first book or something.
Yeah, I haven't even been able to finish the second Gore book. I haven't had the time to sit down and read.
Yeah, and next week's book club, I put the thing in the chat. I found it
Yep.
on YouTube.
Yeah, that's such a short one though that I can probably knock that out on the day of.
Yeah, I usually do that. It's usually about 6 hours.
And
And
I've
I
read it
listen at four
before,
times speed.
and I
Yeah.
have read it countless times before.
Mhm.
So it's not it's not like the last book, which I still haven't finished that. Uh,
Do
it's
it.
still
Do it tonight.
maybe I really want to finish this story though, more than anything.
You can't write and listen at the same time.
I can, but I tend to, uh,
Zone out.
yeah, and just focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Especially at this point where I'm, you know, torn between two possible endings, and I was kind of that way with my first story. The other one's not so much, but this one I'm like, I've got two
Mhm.
different ways I could go. Yeah, the Mountains of Madness. That's right, Mac. And I almost want to write both of them separately, but at the
Do it.
same,
Write
but
one. And if you don't like it when you're done, write the other one.
yeah, and make it a dream.
Don't make it a dream.
I know. I was just fucking around with that. Everybody hates that.
You will get a punishment assignment if you do that.
Okay. Yes, teacher.
Hey, you said I had to be the one teaching this class now.
Yep. Nope. That's why I said it. I wasn't joking. You've got uh, natural talent for that. It seems so. Run with it, dude.
Taco Bell.
Oh my god.
Just as long as I don't have to start hearing "hot for teacher."
That's a
Nice.
song, right?
I will
Yeah.
say Hot for T-shirt, they really go wild with that drum intro.
Yeah.
It
It was
does
a
not
Van
go
Halen
that
song.
hard.
Yeah, I knew I heard it somewhere. I was never really a Van Halen fan.
I wasn't. I had some friends, mostly girls, that were big fans of them, and it
Mhm.
wasn't until many decades later that I started appreciating them. But it was funny. I was actually liking Sammy Hagar more, which I know that's not hard to imagine, but it was kind of, I never had anything against David Lee Roth. He was funny, but I just found it, weird that I even noticed. Audible has Lovecraft stuff in one big audiobook narrated by the HPL Society. Get it? That would require me shelling out money for an
Audible.
Audible thing that I just.
If you have the Audible account, it's free. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
free, or I used a token on it. Maybe you get one free book a month, right? So, um, but
Yeah.
you have to have the paid account. But once you spend your token, it's yours even when you stop your paid account.
how does that work?
You still have the account, you're just not paying for it. It's like the account itself is free, but the premium membership, basically, you're paying a small monthly fee for one free book a month out of
No,
the
I mean
catalog.
when you quit.
You still have your account, you just stop paying for the premium service,
Oh,
and
okay.
then you have your library of whatever you put in there, whether it be a book you bought outright or you use your token on. Because you can also buy the books without the service. You get a discount too with the service, but yeah, whatever. Um, but they have a bunch of free stuff that you can just like add to library. Uh, that you can get when you're paid, but it goes away when you're not paid. What I mean by free is it doesn't take up your token. Like all the Fletcher books, you can just like add to your library, no cost whatsoever.
Fletcher.
Chevy Chase did the first two movies.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fletch.
yeah, Fletch. Yeah, well, it's the character is Fletcher. It's his actual name.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
barely remember that character.
yeah, I actually like the books. I think I did the first three of them, four of them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a pitch here for a novel.
Write
My
it.
wife kidnapped me twice, but the Pope won't grant me a divorce because, she's a faithful spouse.
Say what?
My wife kidnapped me twice, but the Pope won't grant me a divorce because she's a faithful spouse. Hmm. What genre would it be in? It's
I don't
obviously
know.
historical.
That's the synopsis of
Sounds
my
like it
friend
should be
playing
for.
Crusader Kings.
One at a time, man. Let the guy finish
Sorry.
speaking.
I don't know. That's a synopsis of my friend playing Crusader Kings too.
Okay. Now you're gonna say TCG?
I'm about to say that sounds like maybe a prompt for the, not the serial killer, but the following prompt.
No. Uh,
Maybe.
yeah. We're I don't know if you're aware. We have a writing group on Fridays on my channel. Uh, we do a short story or a bit longer every 6 weeks. Uh,
Some of us write entire
And one
novels.
of one of
We're
one of the
intending to.
yeah,
one of the upcoming assignments is a little spicy.
yeah. It's not
Just
my fault. It's not my fault.
putting that mildly.
Is it Ravens?
No, I was joking, and Shadow said, "Let's do that." Erotica, right? Not this one coming up, but the one after is going to be
What in November, starting November.
first, third, something like that. Something like that. The one for October is
Serial killers.
serial killer or massacre or horror story or something like that.
It is, Halloween.
Jason, Freddy kind of stuff. Oh,
I think Mac really wants you to listen or read Lovecraft.
our book club on this channel.
On Thursday nights, every other
Uh,
Thursday.
yeah, we're doing a Lovecraft
Mountains
story.
of Madness this coming or next week,
Yeah.
I should say. And uh, to be honest, I almost want to just read it again, but I know that's almost like a luxury I can't afford these days.
Mhm.
Maybe if I used to love reading H.P. Lovecraft during the fall. Go outside, find a nice spot, and just kick back and actually read his books. The way they were meant to.
Yeah. Hmm.
Does he? I do appreciate that. I've noticed that more and more. Uh, if like with the last book, I didn't enjoy the book as much as other people probably, but I could definitely appreciate the talent that the guy had to be able to do all the different voices. Okay, crafting, to do the female characters, the male characters, and not make them sound ridiculous. Even though like one of the female characters was a witch, so she's going to sound old and witchy, but it still came off decent. Would you say, Justin,
What the?
the narrator for the Broken Sword?
Yeah. He was okay. Um, he's
I
not
thought he was
quite the
one of
type I like, but it's
I
definitely
honestly
up
thought
there.
he was one of the more talented ones we've listened to, just with his ability to do multiple voices and not make it sound, cartoony, I guess.
Hmm. Uh,
Okay, I'm gonna head to bed. You guys have a good one.
okay,
Me
party
too.
on,
I think
bro.
Justin's going to take off in a minute or so. Too good
Yeah.
talking to you again, Dean. I'll try and get that next one out, but
No rush.
yeah, it's just a shame more people aren't interested in that sort of thing. But the video will be out there, and someday, maybe it'll be like there'll be a resurgence or something. People all want to do God Wars or higher level kinds of games, and the video will be out there for those who need the help or at least another opinion on it.
Well, definitely after you're done the series, put them in a playlist because that really
Yeah,
helps move that stuff. In and do it in order. Make sure you put them in order.
yeah.
Uh,
I need to actually do some housekeeping in that respect. Say that technically it's marriage.
Uh,
No worries, Mac. We're actually getting ready to pack it in. Justin's fading over here, and
yeah, I'm actually distracted now.
with what?
I'm just looking stuff up.
No worries. Let's call it. I'm needing to stretch my legs again, and
work.
I got 2 hours of painting in. I might come back, but I'm just waiting for paint to dry. So, crafting, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Raven, same thing. Everybody else out there in TV land, thanks for sticking around and playing along. I'm going to go do some writing, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Justin's show, 9 a.m. Avocado time and noon.
12 real time. Real time.
So,
That's
you guys have a
Eastern
great
Standard.
evening.
Yeah.
Night,
Party on,
everybody.
everyone.
Trails.